According to my, are you ready?
Yes, I got
Okay.
the screening now.
According to my watch, it is 5:30. Stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Welcome everyone to the regular town council meeting. We're going to start off with roll call. Jason Little. Here. Tricia Ball.
Here.
Kevin Burke, absent. Seth Wendell.
Here.
Brian Warren.
Here.
Okay, approval of council minutes. Do I serve as president? I guess you guys have to do it all. Everybody who was here for the 11/13, were we all in attendance that day?
Yep. Make a motion to
Good.
approve the minutes from 11/13.
Excellent. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None. So
And we
it
have
passes.
minutes from the special meeting also, the 11/27/2023 for the health insurance meeting that we had.
Okay. Can we validate that one when,
You might make a motion to.
can I make a motion? I make a motion that we approve those minutes. I was there.
Second.
You can't?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can vote and do anything I want.
All, no way.
I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote in positive.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that passes as well. Have any comments from the floor? Okay. And the only comments from me. Our holiday celebrations are wonderful. The parade was a sloppy mess, but it went through. Everything went well. The town does not hold that parade. In case anybody wonders, it's Santa's Hometown. Is that what that organization's called?
America's Christmas.
America's Christmas Hometown. They are the ones who run that, and it was a good decision to let it go because we didn't have any problem except one thunder, that was it. So other than that, I have nothing, and we can start with you, Max, Fire Department.
Okay. You got my monthly report for the month of November. We had 6 first responder runs. We did escort the football team twice. We had 1 brush fire, 1 investigation, 1 CO run, for a total of 11 runs for the month. So we closed our year with 208 runs. Our year ended December 1st. So,
Down a little bit, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Some people were up, some people were down.
And you wouldn't believe it, but that affects the audit, you know, for up or down, which was kind of funny. They like to see fire departments have more incidents, which we're glad we.
Yeah, down is good.
Let's
Real good.
stay down, yeah.
The CPR machine did come in last week, so we'll get that on the truck, everybody will get trained on that compression machine, so. We did hold our elections Monday night, I was re-elected chief for 2 more years, so the town has to approve that.
Okay, can I have a motion
Who were
to
the other were there other officers elected?
It was not.
contested?
I mean, was there a deputy chief or anything? Do we have to approve everybody?
Stallman, and then I have one that I asked to become another assistant,
Okay.
and he's gonna give me his answer.
Okay.
The first of the year, so.
Make a motion to approve Max Meyer for the Santa Claus Volunteer Fire Department Chief for 2 more years.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And the only other thing I'd
Motion.
like to bring up, I went through the budget and I have $8,585.38 left over all the line items. And I was wondering if I could move that into equipment, which would allow us to buy the radio and the generator for the new truck. It's gonna come in, the radio is on state QPA. I talked to Trish about this. I don't know if we gotta bid it out since it's state QPA. We don't have to. It's over the $5,000
but since it's a state,
What was
yeah,
the
we just
amount
have to
again?
approve
The
it.
radio was $7,103.64. That is one radio, it's a multi-frequency radio, it's gonna cover the 800 and the 154, and it will have dual hits. So the radio, it's decks. You got an 800 deck and a 154 deck, but it'll have two heads, one in the cab, one in the front panel, and then the mic. So, if I could get clearance to move that extra money into equipment,
Can I have a
What was
motion?
that, 8,000 what?
I had 8,585.38, that's not counting the utilities, because we're gonna have December utilities coming out of there.
So are you wanting to only move the amount for the radio? the
If I could move it
7,000?
all, or however y'all wanna do it.
If we move it all, will you still be able to pay your utilities or?
Yes, I did not count the utilities.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, that's where I was.
I
Okay.
did not count the
Okay.
utility money.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it does. Do I have a motion to approve the $7,103.64 radio through a transfer of $8,585.38 to equipment?
Tell them to do.
Don't you need a resolution? She'll do that at the end of the year, I think, to clean it up.
Yeah, because it's a different fund number, right?
Yeah, she'll clean
Yeah,
up the,
'cause it's probably coming from multiple funds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't this
It's,
8,000?
To add it all together?
It's the, SCBA's, we didn't have to spend that money this year because we had brand new ones. So it's
So
all the
Could
excess.
you give me that list of what funds and the amounts you're wanting to move?
I got it
to
all
equipment?
ready, I got it all the totals, I'll just write the funds on it.
Yeah, if you give me that, then we'll add that to next.
So a resolution instead of a
you'll have
vote?
you'll have a resolution.
So I
Okay.
can
We'll have
go
one
ahead and
anyway,
order that,
housekeeping
but it's
purposes.
gonna take a little while to get it in.
Okay. Is there any problem with him ordering it? Because, okay,
You got the money,
okay,
moving it different times.
And that will get you the invoice for the CPR machine. So we gotta get that.
Yeah, I'd like to get that paid by the end of the year.
Okay. And that's all I have.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. And then we'll do this later. All right,
Okay, while we're still on the fire.
do you want to
I
go?
have-
Oh, yes.
I have Max's contract
Mhm.
that I gave you guys a copy of, and I didn't know, if this is something that you guys normally approve through a vote, or whether this is something we, normally just do.
It's the
I wasn't sure,
invoice
so-
for the 25,000.
Right,
It's a $25,000
Right.
Payment.
fire contract, so I assumed it probably needed a vote to approve this amount.
yeah, I think we need a motion for that.
You're 96 cents over your appropriation on that.
Yeah, it'll have to come out.
You have to move 96 cents over to there too.
Yeah.
Max,
So,
One guy's got 96 cents on there, he said, take it away otherwise. Pretty good, so. James got the breakdowns, so.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
well, yeah, I'll give you a copy of that on the back too, if you guys want to look at it.
Do I have a motion to approve the fire contract?
Yeah, make a motion to approve the Santa Claus Volunteer Fire Department contract for the 2024 year.
no,
Second.
It's the payment.
It's actually the
It's the
payment.
payment of
It's
the
the
20.
What's
payment.
what is the contract amount?
25,000.
So we don't pay the
26
96 cents then because it's over the contract.
Well, I don't think we actually.
I'll pay the 96 cents.
I mean, how does it work? I mean, because we're contracted.
I'll
Yeah.
pay the 96 cents, otherwise,
Yeah,
that's
we-
just the way it worked out.
Huh?
Yeah, technically they're over the contract, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just pay the 25, I'll pay the 96 cents.
Out of your budget, okay.
Or I'll pay it out.
okay. I think I've got some in my purse. Okay, so I have a motion, and this is for the fire contract 2023.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I seconded it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries for 25,000. All right. Mr. Parks and Rec, are you ready to go? Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
You have my monthly report. Once again, just to reiterate, we are currently working through the new gen system. We're having a little bit of a hang up with the payment processing company because it's a third party. And they have certain protocols them the benefit of those extra fees. As far as projects, the park is winterized. We have finalized our event schedule for next year, and we are acquiring some new cardio equipment for the community center. The equipment we have is pushing 20 years old, so
Yep.
after we've pieced together some bearings and other parts, it's time to get new equipment. So, as far as items for you all, the foyer window, community center, that is being encumbered over till next year. They're not able to complete that work this year. Those funds will be encumbered, and hopefully that'll be done in the spring. The mountain bike trails, that's kind of on the back burner at the moment. Just trying to wrap some stuff up, but I will hopefully sit down with Kevin and Brad at some point. And look at some long-term planning to see if there's a way that we can get some funds to maybe proceed with that mountain bike trail in the rest of the park. The most pressing item, the park board did approve the motion to recommend John Goldsberry for reappointment to the park board. And I believe that's something that you all need to authorize.
Yes. Do I have a motion to approve John Goldsberry for his
No,
reappointment?
we reappoint him, right?
Yes.
Yep.
You are the appointing
I
authority.
make a motion, we appoint John Goldsberry to the park board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. John Goldsberry has been appointed to the park board.
Okay, I'll make sure that it's taken care of, it's one back in. Thank you. One item that was brought up toward the end of last week, I believe, was the contract with Cook Development Corp. Regarding their acquisition of the 162 and Ashburn lot. So I believe going back almost a decade now, we've had a lease agreement in place on that property, where I believe it was for $1 a year. We had access to utilize that for parking. I was kind of reading through the document. I don't know, Kevin, you might bring us up to speed. But it looks to me like basically they would want to just transfer that agreement to Cook Development. Is that correct?
Yeah. I don't know why they want our consent, because they can assign it without our consent, but that's what apparently they want to clear up their title to make sure that we agreed to the transfer, so.
Okay. And I believe it runs through 2026, if I read through it
December
correctly.
31st, 2026.
Okay.
So just knowledge is enough, or do we need to make a motion to approve that?
No, it should go actually to the park board.
Okay,
It's Department of Parks and Rec is who actually.
so they'll take care of it?
They should handle it, yeah.
I mean, I know they wanted to move fast on this, but they kind of missed our monthly meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it's
don't know that necessarily warrants us calling a special meeting just to approve that.
yeah, it's the park board though that has jurisdiction. They're the ones who the lease is with. Although I think we had, when we amended it, whenever the Visitors Bureau took over, we had the council and the park board approve it, but it's technically with the park board.
So just a question, I mean, the 3 years that I've been here, we've never used that for parking. And quite honestly, it's just additional maintenance that we have to do. And when the Visitors Bureau had it, I was more than happy to, because it's, basically a nonprofit that we try to be good friends with and work with. Quite frankly, a for-profit business, if we're not getting anything out of it, I don't see any reason why we should have to continue maintaining it.
So just surrender it back to them then. But that's, the park board needs to make that decision.
Sure.
Yeah, so if they
Okay.
want to decide just to terminate the lease,
I guess the reason I'm asking is if there were another agreement that would be put in place, could we, down the road next year or two with Holiday World, end this lease agreement and start a new lease agreement?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just, want to make sure I had all my facts straight before I took that to the park board.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're gonna remove that lease?
Well, that's up to them, but that would be my.
Park board, okay.
If we're not using it, why are we?
Yeah, right,
Why are we mowing it?
exactly.
Yeah, well, and the other part too, the Visitors Bureau didn't have their own equipment or staff to maintain it,
Mhm.
whereas Holiday World, I believe, is what we get.
Okay,
And then we do have a few surplus items. I don't know, I know Russ had mentioned possibly having some surplus equipment. I'm not sure if James, I've got some James and Max.
I don't have anything right now, so.
Okay. I didn't know if it was possible if your next, 3 or 4 months, if we could do something about our surplus equipment. I know I've reached out to a few auctioneers and they mentioned that most of the equipment is of such little value that they really wouldn't be interested. They would probably charge us a fee just to have an auction just to get rid of it. And I don't know how much we would really make back off of it, so, just kind of looking for some guidance there.
What
I know
else?
the last time we did like a sealed bid, but
Right.
almost none of the items were bid on for my department. I think Russ, you had a truck
You
maybe.
just declare
Yeah,
worthless.
I mean, we've helped
You just declare
several
worthless and get rid of it.
Have done well, so.
You can't, I think you have to see what Russ has too.
I know,
And
we
if Jane has any older
James said he has
computer, old computer equipment and stuff.
Well, a lot of it's like smaller
It's worth
items,
nothing.
they donated
Jane
to
may
us,
have
like
stuff
that
too.
kind of stuff. I mean, there's a computer that's maybe 6 or 7 years old, and then, a couple of
Yeah,
refrigerators.
computer equipment generally doesn't do well.
No.
But
Do you have anything that's big enough to
Oh, yeah.
constitute an
We'll have a
auction?
truck up, some other sundry type thing, yeah.
So do collectively then, we need to see what he has before he can get rid of anything?
Yeah, so typically if we do have surplus and it's approved by the council, I mean, auctioneers will charge you 10 or 15%.
Well, and to that effect, I had mentioned that, and they said that it would probably be much higher than that, just because
Yikes.
there's such little value that they would get almost nothing back out.
But he just,
But if-
that's
Yeah,
just
Russ has
his,
to-
yeah.
Yeah, but if Russ has
Yeah.
bigger ticket items.
Yeah.
It may be more, you know.
Yes. If we do it as a town, you
Yeah.
know. Mhm.
And the other reason I bring it up is because in discussions of potentially changing the rental rates, we do have some interest in that room again, and that's kind of where all our surplus.
Story,
is.
okay. Okay,
So,
okay. Can we make that a first of the year?
I would love to if it's possible.
Can you guys get an
Yeah.
inventory?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Have you talked to Dixon? Did you talk to Dixon?
I think I talked to Becker and, I talked to Judd, but I can reach out to them.
Yeah, I mean, they like
that.
that knick-knack stuff, I mean, they have, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys get the inventories together and then first of the year we'll get a plan. Okay,
Probably be spring now, I mean,
Yeah.
this weather when it's gonna close.
Right.
every day, so.
oh, yeah. Okay,
I believe that's all I have, unless there's any questions.
questions for Zach? You good? Okay, Zach Park looks great. Eleanor and I drove by, we checked it out. Thank you. All right, Todd?
Yes.
Hey, Todd.
Okay, well, any questions on my report? I got it in a day late. Did I?
No,
No?
I
Okay,
had
good.
it.
Okay, I just always feel like I'm way behind.
No, you got it on time.
All right,
You got what, 2 houses going up in all that road?
in Holiday Village?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one on New Year's and then one on
Good stuff.
Yeah. More the merrier.
Then also, I had a few signs that I had to kind of chase down. And I believe the ones that I noticed, they've been taken down. So if anybody sees any of those signs, just let me know.
I saw a new one put up tonight.
Where's
The Two Brothers or something. I couldn't see it. It's at the Holiday, and I don't know what it is, so I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but it's like, I think they're across from Casey's, like a little one with 2 men on it. It was just tonight I saw it for the
There's
first
one of
time.
these little signs.
Yeah, when it yeah, and I don't know what, and it could be nothing, but yeah, I saw it tonight, I was like, what's that one?
I didn't know that.
Well, it's just tonight, so
Okay.
I don't expect time for
I
you.
might see it tomorrow.
Yes, you might.
Okay. Anything else? I mean, yeah, the building seems to have slowed just a bit. Of course, it does that every year.
Yeah.
You know, this time of the year.
Everything looks good.
The only other thing that we have is Todd's, contract for next year. So I have it in the packet there for you to review. The only change to it is he's currently getting paid $1,300 a month, and he would like to increase that to $1,350 a month, because last year he agreed to do the zoning part for free until they could find someone to take over that zoning, and we never found anyone to take over the zoning, so he's been doing it. He's agreed to continue doing the zoning part, but he would like additional compensation for it this year. And, his monthly fee then would be $13.50 a month instead of $1,300 a month. Other than that, no changes.
It's a shame we couldn't find anybody. I know, but I mean, I
We need
don't
to pay him
find
for
that.
this year too then?
Hmm?
We need to pay him for this year too
Yeah,
then?
no, should we,
Can't, we gotta-
Well, as part of his
Yeah, okay.
contract, it was written on there.
oh, that he would do it for free, okay.
I originally started at $12.50,
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah,
And that was including zoning.
the zoning,
And then it was told to me last year that maybe zoning was gonna.
it was, yeah,
So what I want my contract to be, so.
it's, okay,
And I said,
$13.50,
just keep it at the same this past year, and I will fill in. So now here we are.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of how I voted.
yeah.
All right, I make a motion, we approve the contract in the amount of $13.50 a month for Todd Hayes.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope, motion passes, $13.50.
All right. If I don't see any of you, Merry
Okay,
Christmas.
take care, Merry Christmas to you. James Hockenberg?
Well, hopefully everybody got the report. You can get it for today if you did get it.
I got it.
Then we'll have to,
You got it.
we're dealing with some things at the academy and all that good stuff. Also, I put a copy here of what the new school resource officer card look like. You guys had a chance to look at that, it should be in there, so.
I see it, yep.
Okay. We had asked for donations, and we received way more donations than what we asked for to have it wrapped. So we're gonna wrap it. Boys County Tire is actually going to donate, wheels and tires to also outfit the car. Which I was surprised, since we do buy our tires from them, but it's a government bid, then we get our tires, so, when we asked them, they said, yeah, we'll donate them for you. Which was probably about $2,000 worth of tires in it. And then Clan Sign's gonna donate the actual labor of doing the wrap, and several other places donated. Tim Winder donated $2,000. Charles donated $1,500. So it's gonna look pretty neat. It's hard to tell, but on the very back, on the bottom, all the way across the bumper, it says school resource officer. And then on the trunk, we'll put sponsors like the voice and, things like that, so. We're excited about it, school's
looks really
excited about it, kids are gonna love it,
Okay.
so.
When's this car due for rotation?
Well, here's the funny thing about this car, it's a 2016, but the motor's only got about 15,000 miles on it, because we had to put brand new motor in it.
Oh, yeah.
And the body style is no different than the 23s, so we figured we'll keep it until the motor quits working. With him just driving back and forth to the schools, it's not like he's out driving it hard. So I think the transmission, because that was gonna be my biggest thing, is the transmission gonna hold up? I don't think, we don't have any problems at all with transmission. We keep service on it, so.
We're gonna
No.
have it a little while longer than,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I didn't want to save a bunch of money and something.
Well, I told him when we tried to budget for a new car for 2025, if you wanna wait, we could do that. He said, I love this car. He said, it rides good, it drives good, the interior is in mint condition, so it's been well taken care of.
His next car won't be a V8 either.
No. That's probably the biggest reason. Everything's going to V6 or things like that. Really, that's the only other thing I have. Just real quick, Trish, you and I talked about these signs, and Pat Moore, you can say it's ridiculous or we can't do it. And Todd, we kind of discussed the signs that are being pulled. I was just looking at it as a way, some of these signs in these businesses, is there a way the town can charge like permit fees where they can put out the sign for?
And then it would be like an advertising permit fee, it would go to the town and all, it would be this little placard.
and have an ordinance and regulation on what size it is.
Uh-huh. How many can be in an area?
The advisory plan commission could certainly consider that as an amendment to the zoning ordinance if they wanted to.
I didn't know if that's something the council, because we had talked about, it. I said, you know, some of these signs, these people are trying to put out for their businesses, and it's hard for me to just jerk it out of the ground, but I get it, we have to. But if there was a way the town could charge a fee for, and again, this is completely out of the police department wheelhouse, I was just brainstorming as I was out driving around looking at some of these signs.
I'd say mowing is the biggest problem. You guys, is there
Until you get 500 of those signs, it looks like a yard sale.
a, I know, that's why I say limit.
You limit
Well,
how, what size.
You won't be able to limit
sign-
it. You won't be able to limit it, it'll be discrimination then.
Yeah, and that's why.
No,
No,
limit
I-
number. Like say at this like each location, can you do that? Say there can only be 3 signs,
Yeah,
so
but
if
then
you've got
every
a
business
sign-
puts 3 signs out and you've got 120
signs
disposable
everywhere.
signs in the
And
neighborhood.
the other thing,
If
it
they're
has to-
paying.
It has to be content neutral, so if a, say,
Yes,
strip club from Louisville wants to
then they could
buy
put
every
one
single
there.
spot that's available, you can
Yeah.
have the whole town have.
I just- I think the mowing's the biggest issue because,
If they're paying for it, you have to take the sign out and put it right back where.
Yeah,
it
and
was.
other
That's gonna
towns-
take a lot of time for
I think it's a-
mowing to.
I think it just looks like it'll be an eyesore. It'll be terrible.
because we're so small. You know, I know Boonville allows them, because I drive through there all the time, and they aren't, you know, it's not too much, but we're a very small town. Maybe that is, yeah,
Just one, I know we discussed it.
Yes, yeah.
Thought I'd bring it up. That's really all I had,
That's
unless
good.
anybody's got any questions.
okay. Looks like things have gone down a little bit.
Yeah,
That's good.
so far so good.
That's real good.
Knock on wood.
How's our new young man doing?
Doing good, he'll go to the academy January 24th, and he should be back in whatever 17 weeks is, so sometime end of April, May. Good thing is he'll be in Evansville, so he's back and forth every day.
Good.
And my plan is to take our oldest car, setting it in our hand, and say, here you go. Drive back and forth to Evansville in this and keep the miles off the new one,
Yeah,
because he's not gonna be able to work per se, so.
Get road early and.
Yeah. The reserves have been done. We actually have a couple of reserves that are working their butts off.
yes, I'll, got some hours up on Kennedy and stuff.
We have one that hasn't put any hours in at all, and I'm gonna get over to him this week, so. I think Ryan's going to get out of our area. And I wasn't told about it. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know he did it. Yeah. So.
Oh, we got 3 times the fire department.
Yeah, that's what I was told. He hasn't reached out to me either, but I'm gonna reach out to him.
Mhm.
We've got a lot of our equipment. But the other guys are doing good.
Good.
That's all I got.
Thank you, James. Think you need to get your printer serviced. Yeah, with, is that your printer that's got the 2 lines going through it?
I think it's James.
That would be
No.
mine.
Oh, it's yours.
James.
Yeah.
James, we need to get your printer serviced.
Yeah, that would be me.
Oh, yeah, because your car didn't have one. Hello, Russ.
Good evening. I have nothing to report on the trails. We do have a couple of dangling items after which you guys are fully aware of those. That's the bollard placement and, the other powered motorized vehicles. So, those are still dangling out there, nothing critical. We've got a handle on it. Zach and I have been making a plan to come up with getting the bollards replaced. And it's still, my onus to get the thing rolling on the other powered vehicles, so. I have nothing on the trails unless the council has any questions for me. Same with streets, if we're moving on, with wastewater and water as well, referring to my monthly report, nothing really of note, same old chestnut you guys see every month, except there are a couple of items that are new. We did receive our final NPDS permit, which will become active in April of 2024, so under that new permit, the state of Indiana will require us to run 2 new tests. One is for total nitrogen that we're discharging into the environment. For the uninitiated, and I know it's a very exciting subject, but nitrogen is one of the biggest concerns that a wastewater treatment plant has. We don't want to dump those kind of nutrients out into the receiving waters. It just causes all kinds of algae proliferation, and then when the algae dies, it starts toxin out of the water, kills fish. So it's bad. So we'll be running a total nitrogen test in conjunction with we're running an ammonia test already. So, the second test is not really new, it's just a new procedure that the state wants us to utilize. I did hire the Class 3 operator. I am very pleased. He's only been here a week, but he's already to step in and fill the position 100%. I'm very impressed with him thus far. So I'm going to try my darndest to keep him here with us. But again, another issue is reared its ugly head. Tina Riggs did put in her 2-week notice. Well, 3 weeks ago now, she has been gone a week, so I will be looking for a new administrative assistant. I haven't posted it online yet. I haven't posted it yet, period. I'll probably wait till the end of the new year, so. And if we can skip a little bit here ahead, I do have for council consideration tonight my 2024 draft wastewater budget. I don't know if you all had a chance to look at that yet. And again, as I mentioned last month, if there are any glaring omissions or anything like that, because in my 25 plus years of doing these things, I found that they're not really rocket science. You can make them that way if you want. And I do know that if you got some big capital project going on, sure, but it's pretty simple math. I just take my perishable accounts, add 5% for any increases that may come next year. I do, however, have some items in there that are critical to the operation, and they're listed in that right-hand column, right-hand margin. So,
Okay, it's okay.
yeah, I'm sorry. It's on the-
No, it's okay, it's okay.
Just to make the council aware of what's going on, in that account, the first one you see, it says ADA and parking spot is abbreviated. I'm adding $3,000 into there. Again, each department should be taking the list that we distributed, ensuring that some of these deficiencies in your ADA facilities are being rectified, because I'm telling you, the Department of Justice oversees this, and they take that very seriously. So if I would ask that if I ask department heads for an update on where they are, I would appreciate a response from those, and also in the town hall as well. We haven't been audited yet, but it is coming. They will see what we have done with the deficiencies that we have. So I've added $3,000 to install a new ADA accessible parking spot in our parking lot that's planned. We will need to do vaccine colony incubator for the laboratory. I'm budgeting $6,000 for a new incubator. We will also need to replace our balance or scales that we weigh our samples on. We have those calibrated each year. And the last calibration, and I'm just repeating what I heard here, I don't know what he said, but there's a linearity issue that with the way the scale calculates the weight. So, I have budgeted under the salaries an additional employee. That's the same position we've been trying to fill for 2 years, so I've just been those monies.
Not funny.
You'll see under line item 718, I'm sorry, chemicals lab. Again, I have a little extra put in there because of the additional testing requirements that I alluded to earlier. Under material and supply plant, I added $7,000. We need to replace the roof on the admin building next year. So I will chip in the wastewater department will chip in $7,000 and the water department will chip in $7,000. That's hard to say in one mouth. Also, I have to re-allot monies for an influent distributor there at the wastewater plant. We had it ordered in August, but it's like 20 weeks out, so it won't make it before the new budget, so I just rolled that money over. And then Jane made her additions in the next 2 lines. Contractual other, I budgeted some extra dollars to pay for some additional sledge hauling next year, as well as finishing up our asset management plan with the Western engineer. And that's really it, other than I will point out that you'll see a $21,000 deficit between revenues and expenditures. Again, we can play shell games all day, but the main thing we gotta live within our means of what our expenditures are. So, and we've never had an issue with that, never been over budget. Obviously, I may not even be here if we were over budget. I may be going to strike somewhere and 10 or 10 for But anyway, so again, there's what it is. I'm showing $1,303,000 plus or minus an expenditure of $1,281,000 and some change in revenues.
All right, make a motion, we approve the 2024 wastewater budget.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, so it passes.
Thank you. So for, I'm sorry? No, I was just gonna say for more exciting stuff about sewer. I will be meeting tomorrow, with the contractor for the cure in place pipe project, which will be paid for from the capital projects, bond refinance money, however you wanna call it. So, just as a recap, we're looking at $2.7 million in improvements, about 12 miles of pipe will be rehabbed. The goal of that project is twofold. We want to try to eliminate some of the extraneous water that's getting in via rainwater, groundwater, et cetera, through pipe failure, through intrusions, et cetera. And I will be meeting with the CLV board Thursday night, kind of go over some of the same things, just to give some precautionary notes for what to expect in the coming months. The contractor seems really anxious to get started, so I'm thinking maybe January or February 24 they'll be starting the project. So what we need to be aware of as residents and commuters in town, you'll see workers on and in the road, vehicles on and in the road. You will see people in rear easements causing all types of havoc. They're saying it's going to take them a year to do the job, but that's if they have one crew. I will try to field them out tomorrow, so they maybe get a couple crews in here and cut that maybe in half to 30-some weeks, 20-some weeks, something like that. One other thing that I want to caution folks about, prior to installing the liner in this pipe, we have to go through and clean the pipe, clean any gunk, for lack of a better term, maybe that's the best term to use, roots, et cetera, out of the pipeline so that the epoxy can adhere. So how we do that is we run a high-pressure cutter and high-pressure sprayer up through the sewer line. So that can cause two issues. One, it can actually blow water out of your commode or out of your sink. So I'm going to work with a contractor, and folks, please be aware, most homes in the village have an outside cleanout. What we will probably do to mitigate that problem is open that cleanout so that pressure will blow out of there versus inside home. I would still be prepared for any water on the floor, et cetera, et cetera. Now, typically too, we will, so we've got several subdivisions that will be involved in this. So back in the day when I did smaller jobs, I would send a letter out to the affected folks explaining this very same thing. We'll try to do the same thing here. The next item that could happen when you're running that high pressure cutter through the line is it causes a vacuum, or will pull a vacuum on your line. Anybody physics people here know what a venturi is. If you run a fluid past an opening, it will cause a vacuum. So that could also pull water from the traps in your sink, shower, things like that, and the trap is there. I know this is exciting, Kevin.
I'm just wondering if you're gonna warn people an approximate time so they're not actually sitting on the toilet.
Well, that's a valid point. So yeah, to that point, kind of, there will be a time when your home may be out of service because we will be lining parts of the lateral, or the town owns some of the lateral, so we will ask.
I'm talking about when you're blowing it out, that's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
even when you vacuum, it's gonna smell and,
I don't know, maybe if you think about it long enough, bidet comes to mind.
that's right.
That won't be over holiday, will it, right?
No, that's.
Score for you.
If you live around the lake, be wary.
Yeah,
So when it vacuums out, there could be a pretty strong smell, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why you have traps.
Yeah.
Just some words of precaution that you guys need to keep in mind in the coming months, so.
I know.
Oh, yeah, because like I said, we'll be in rear easement.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Hopefully we get some freezing weather, they can do a lot of stuff in the rear easement during frozen ground, because if not that they gotta run big trucks back or anything like that, because they have what they call easement equipment that they can get back there, lightweight, hand operated type stuff, so. That's all I can think of on the precautionary portion of tonight's show.
Make sure that's in the paper.
That's why we're gonna send it to public
Well, like I
notice.
said, hopefully, I would assume that the COE board will post it. in there.
Yeah, you hope.
And yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job in the past of keeping in communication with folks via letter, et cetera.
And will this be like subdivision at a time?
Well, it'll be service area at a time.
Okay,
One service area, like for instance, five lift station area or service area.
Yes.
Composed of some of 10, some of 7, and
Right.
some of 6. So you'll have one service area, maybe a couple of different subdivisions.
Okay.
So.
okay,
Just real briefly looking back at my monthly report, sewer lateral inspection, we got 38 total this year, 13 required repairs, 22 did not require repairs. We did do some crack sealing, again, just to stave off some of the road deterioration up in Holly Village. And we did repair a ditch along for Super Bowl. And I did submit to NDOT our 2023 report for our Pazer, which is again, just like another asset management plan. You know, they just want to know how much road we have, what kind of condition it is, what your plans for the next 5 years, what your budget, et cetera, et cetera. So, and I don't know, did I send that out there? I typically do that. I will send out a copy of
Yeah.
the receipts. And the last and final thing I'll organize tomorrow, about 7:30 our time, the demolition crew should be in there, start taking down the old 150,000 gallon water tower.
Oh.
I would ask everyone to kind of just steer clear of the area. We will have several contractors and consultants back there already. So, and it's not gonna be the most pleasant environment. They use pretty heavy duty cutting torches. They're 120 feet in the air. And if anyone saw when they took the old witch's hat tower over down Hollywood, they'll throw a spark a long way. And so, I just want to be cautious of that, to be falling metal and whatever else. So, but if anyone is a videographer, I would ask them to come back. It's pretty cool to watch. I mean, those people are artists at what they do.
so that's tomorrow evening?
Tomorrow morning.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 7:30 in the evening would be weird. Okay. Cool.
That's all I have.
There's gonna be some road closures in the village tomorrow for that, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yes.
Donder, is it 6:30, Donder?
Shouldn't be no road closure.
They send it out.
Dispatch sent out road.
Yeah, they send out,
I don't know why. I didn't contact them.
They said Donder and where else?
Jim.
I thought that was for today.
There was one for today.
Carroll and South Milky today.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then Donder, stay clear of Donder Lane, they said.
Yeah.
Water cars coming down, use all of that route.
that's just the very end of Donder though, because Donder shoots all the way up there.
Yeah, so Donder
just-
actually dead ends down there.
Yeah.
I think they call the the westbound portion of it, they do call it.
Five
Yeah.
AM
For
to,
911 purposes.
Yeah,
traffic, no traffic can come through, it says.
no, not way back there.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything with industrial park? Yep. Okay, town attorney?
I don't have anything. I have been in contact with IDEM. I think I copied y'all with an email. Finally found the right person, I believe, who can give us some guidance on that, possibly converting the water utility over to a regional district.
Right,
But they are supposed to have a meeting this week with a bunch of people in IDEM because they don't know what to do either. And
Those are always the
it's their
best.
ball game, so.
I would imagine with the eventuality of regional district, I mean, they'll probably stave it off until they carve us all out into districts.
No, they said it's actually, I mean, because it takes
Yeah.
a year to do this, and I kind of explained to them that, we kind of want to be proactive, not reactive, because, I know Honeybird's reached out to us before about possibly supplying water, and John Letzel said if we would have a prolonged drought, Honeybird would be in big trouble.
Ooh.
They would run out of water in short form. So, it's the kind of thing that's, I kind of explained to IDEM that we want to be proactive in getting it set up, so if the need arises.
You and I haven't had a chance to discuss this, but so we would be strapped by this 4-mile radius thing, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like the only way we can supply Christie right now is because the metering point is they're within 8 miles of us. If anybody else outside of 8 miles, if Huntingburg or anybody like that would want water, we have to meter within 4 miles of our boundary. And they would have to they couldn't have a line more than 8 miles outside, or 4 miles outside. So you're restricted by that. And that's, I discussed that at length with 2 different said, the other alternative would be, of course, get the legislation changed that says you can go 10 miles outside your boundary. The problem is, if you know anything about water utilities, up around Indianapolis, Zionsville,
Oh, yeah.
they fight all the time. They have lawsuits all the time going on about territories for water and sewer up there because all those little towns around Indianapolis are constantly competing to take new customers. When a shopping mall goes in,
Yep.
and it's between the two, they're fighting over who gets to service that new development. So they're constantly, and so I don't see the legislature
Changing the
changing
mileage.
it unless they narrowly tailor it for more rural communities. Kind of told that to Item. I said, you know, that works up around Indy where the 4 miles is not a big issue because you have a utility within 4 miles of everywhere. Whereas here, that's the only animal we have to go to is a regional district to be able to extend more than 4 miles outside of our boundary. And
So, not to get in the weeds with it, but, interlocal agreements couldn't go around that.
no,
Because it's regulated.
no, you have to be some other animal other than a municipal utility in order to do it.
Wow.
To go more than that. And I know Russ and I have discussed it before with you. Right now they're doing regional studies, and the Indiana Finance Authority, SRF, has a question on every one of their applications. If you apply, if Christie would go to SRF for funding, one of the things they have to answer is, have you considered allowing your utility to basically be consolidated? Because all you're doing is buying and reselling water. Same thing with Jenkerville. They don't produce anything. All they're doing is distributing water at a much higher rate because of the economies of scale. So the state is looking at, why don't we make all these small utilities get gobbled up by larger utilities because it's water.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's something that's a profit-making thing for any utility. You're completely, you know, there's nothing political about it. So anyway, that's what the state is pushing for, is we need to get rid of all these because it's costing a lot of customers a lot more money than we need to be paying, because you get these little utilities with a few hundred customers and they've got to have a backhoe, or they've got to either do that or they've got to hire a third-party contractor to come in to fix any issue because they don't have the manpower, they don't have the equipment to do it. So that's why their rates are so high in a lot of cases. That's right. That's why I told Item, I said, you know, and they have never had it happen before where a municipal utility decided to convert over to a regional district. Usually regional districts are being formed in places like Murray Hill, where
Right.
there is no sewer system, or Fulda, where there is no sewer system. So they, you know, and that's the big questions I had, because it requires a preliminary engineering report. Well, we don't need a preliminary engineering report because we're just doing the same footprint we've got right now. And it also requires a feasibility study in accordance with IDIM guidelines. There are no guidelines. And obviously it's feasible because we would just be operating the same utility we're operating now, with the same board we have now, with the same budget we have now. So that's some of the answers they're looking for, is to give us some guidance on what actually we would have to do if we want to do that.
New, it's always hard for states to decide anything.
Yeah. Yeah, because, and the statutes just aren't set up for that.
Right, right. I had no idea.
So they're supposed to give me some answer here within the next few weeks or so, probably.
Okay. Okay.
I have Kevin's,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I did
contract
send that.
also. Kevin did submit his contract for the 2024 year with no changes. This retainer is gonna remain, $1,250, and then $100 per hour for work not covered by the retainer. So no changes from his contract last year.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve Kevin Cotton's contract for 2024 year.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes. You've been contracted again, sir.
Thank you.
Can we get it cheaper?
Yeah.
No,
Anybody know what you?
I've not changed my rate in 22 years of doing this, so.
Good. It's you, clerk treasurer, you're up.
Okay, so last month I submitted the 2024 meeting dates. There was a discrepancy with Mike Johannes on the January 8th date, so we tabled it to see if the APC board could switch the January dates with us. They were unable to do that. So I'm representing the meeting dates as presented last month, with no changes for approval.
All right. I have approval on the meeting dates for next year for town council.
You good with them?
I'm good. You good? You're okay, right?
I'm good with all of it. You guys can meet 3 times a month if you want.
Thank you, Seth.
Let's add one every week.
They were
Let's just go to
sent
weekly.
department heads for review prior.
Okay.
So,
Anybody
and
has
they
any
changes.
issues with them, I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 meeting dates.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That passes.
Okay, the next thing I have is this is for your knowledge, open enrollment for the health insurance is gonna be on December 18th. So we'll be getting sign-up sheets for all of the full-time employees to come on that day to, work on the open enrollment. We do need to set a date for the, year-end meeting,
Okay.
so, look at your calendars
Yeah.
and.
And I talked to Kevin about this. I mean, we need to do this that last week of the year, correct? Is that the way? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because he mentioned something about the week before, and I thought, we can't do it the week
Probably
before.
do the 19th or 20th, or maybe.
What about 26
the
or
26th
27?
or 27th.
How do you got anything, 26 or 27? That's that, yes?
I plan on.
Being away?
On the 26th, probably the 25th, that evening, we're going somewhere, I don't know where.
So you're gonna run away. 28th,
A week.
you're gonna be gone. Okay.
I mean, that last week,
My
it's really just to
grandmother's
make sure we
left.
pay everything at the end of the year.
I know it
It's
is.
the income
So as long as we
It's
have
not
that.
it's not a
Right.
2-hour meeting, it's like a
So
20-minute
So Jason,
meeting.
run away. Don't think twice.
Do it Thursday at 5 o'clock and just get it
I
done.
was gonna say, a lot of
Yeah.
times you do those in the morning even, because a lot of people are off and you just, it's a
Yeah.
five,
Yeah,
it's a 5-minute
that
meeting.
week.
It's usually a 5-minute meeting.
If
You're
everybody's
paying
off
it.
the 26th, you can do the morning.
Okay, so Burke won't be able to do morning.
Banks won't be open, will they?
Yeah,
I won't be here. If you need me, I don't usually come to those either, unless you need me.
yeah.
But I won't be here on the.
Brian, you
26th.
can make time 26, 27, 28.
at 5.
I can make time, yeah.
Yeah. We can do 26 at 5, and then we
A
can,
little earlier.
that would get, yeah.
Unless something changes.
No. Jason won't be here.
That's okay.
He's already told his family he's gonna run away, so he's running.
Yeah,
Okay.
banks are open on the 26th.
Unless we have a quorum, we'll be fine.
26 at 5.
Okay.
If something changes, I'll.
You said 26 at 5?
Yes, is that okay with you?
It's fine.
You don't need me here, right? Because I'm out of town till the 20th. I'm flying in some, I forgot what time our flight comes in on the 26th.
We'll just not worry
My
about it.
son's getting married.
Awesome, congratulations.
Gulf Shores.
Congratulations, good for you and him. All right,
Okay.
I'll let Burke know, I gotta call him later anyway. All right,
Next up, I have 2 additional contracts, one for Judy Frome, who cleans the town hall. She is keeping her rate the same as last year also, at $14 an hour. But I have asked her to come twice a month instead of once a month. It's just needed with all the traffic that we have in and out of the office and muddy shoes and everything currently. Myself, is cleaning town hall to try to keep up with it, because once a month isn't just enough. So, that's the only change to the contract, is I've been trying to talk her into coming more than once, and she's got a spot open now, so she'll be coming twice
does
a
anybody
month.
have a problem with Judy Fromey coming twice a month? You okay with that? All right, so do I have a motion to approve Judy Fromey's contract at twice a month?
Make a motion to approve Judy Cronin contract for twice a month for town hall cleaning.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Make a motion, we approve the contract for Brian Penn for computer IT services.
There we go. We're good with that. Okay, all in favor of Brian Punn's tech contract, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, both of those contracts pass.
Okay.
Boom, boom.
The next thing I have on the agenda is the first reading. It's ordinance 2023-14, an ordinance of the town council for the town of Santa Claus, Indiana, wages and salaries for 2024. The only changes that were made is to, the salaries of the utility superintendent, the clerk treasurer, the town marshal, the town council president, and, the town council members. They were all increased, for the, growth portion of 4%. The other, boards have kept their meeting the same rate of pay, monthly rate of pay. Everything else, the employees, and there is a list of the employees on the back. They're all below the salary ordinance that, is currently in place, so those changes did not need to happen. The only other change is for the part-time employees hourly. We have increased it up to $20 an hour for one of the part-time Parks Board members who, is,
What?
park employee, that is getting a, pay increase, so that needed to be, adjusted to reflect that.
Why would that person get that pay increase just for public knowledge?
So Randy is, he's very knowledgeable in a lot of things. He doesn't come in and mow, he's strictly for projects.
Okay,
And
so specializes,
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, everything, electrical, plumbing, any issue we've got.
excellent,
He's in charge, so. And I call him in on an as-needed basis only.
okay, thank you.
You will notice next to the, town council and the town council members, I did put an asterisk there because I am changing the departments that they get paid from. Currently, they're getting paid, their entire monthly, salary from a specific department, and I'm changing that to everyone getting paid, a third from general, a third from water, and a third from sewer. So all 5 council members will get paid, their pay will get split between all 3 departments.
Are good with that?
Yeah,
And that is,
I've had issues with that in the past, I'm finally
Okay,
glad we're
good,
straightening it out.
good.
okay, and that is something that, we're gonna be required to do anyway with the State Board of Accounts, because you guys handle things that are from other departments, and when you're getting paid strictly from, let's just say, 100% water, it's not reflective of what your job duties are, because you do handle general and wastewater and stuff. So that's just to be more compliant with the State Board of Accounts. It's something that we're gonna have to do, like I said, in the future anyway. In 2025, we're gonna have to do a time study for all employees and look at, whether their pay that we've currently split it as is accurate according to their job duties. So that's something we're gonna have to do in 2025 anyway. So it's just something I decided to go ahead and just change it this year to make it more in line
Good
with
project.
that. The other thing, I don't know if you guys wanna look at the back couple pages and make any changes on anything else, with the thing. I know that there was some discussion, earlier in the year about maybe adding some holidays that weren't currently on there. I don't know if that's something you guys wanna look at, as well as, all the other smaller fees, the cell phone stipend, the, holiday bonus, the safety merit bonus. I don't know if you wanna leave all of those things the way they currently are, or if any changes need to be made before the second reading and adoption at the special meeting, so.
There are 4 additional government holidays that we need to contemplate, since other government entities are given holiday pay for those holidays. Do we, we are a government facility, and so, I don't know where I read that. Those are MLK, Columbus Indigenous, Juneteenth, and what was the fourth one? Jane, do you remember?
Veterans Day.
Veterans, which is crazy. So, as a, you know, as a civic organization, do we want to add those 4 holidays to our calendar? Discuss, think. The school recognize, they do,
What are they paying
they do, you mean as far as,
days off for that? Do they do Martin Luther King Day? Is that a day off?
That's usually a snow day.
It's not
it's a
official.
snow day, yeah, it's not official. It is in some corporations, but it's not in our corporation. I do think it'll have to be eventually changed. You know, school is different because that's postal service and banks.
What days are we currently doing right now?
We have 11 paid
Um,
holidays.
we are currently doing New Year's Day, President's Day, Good Friday, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day, Friday after Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve.
So the standards.
I think the Friday after Thanksgiving is a standard holiday for most people.
That's usually when your Veterans Day.
What, the Friday after
That's what
Thanksgiving?
we do ours.
You call that your Veterans Day?
Banks are open that day. I mean,
Yeah, the Friday after Thanksgiving, banks are open that
Good
day.
Friday, everything's still open too.
Schools aren't, but that's because of public opinion.
You've got presidential election next year too, I don't know.
Yeah,
County offices are open.
you know, there's another, and I need you just to think about this. I know it's a weird thing, but the eclipse is going to be a nightmare in this area as far as you guys go.
Yeah, we have a committee that we meet.
Okay,
We've been meeting for almost 2 years now.
have you been, okay.
No, I just got my glasses, that's all.
And school is taking off that day. There's no school that day. It's an official school holiday.
That's something, you know, that we probably should consider too. I don't think that needs to be in the salary one.
No.
That can be posted.
No, but we need to, yeah, we need to consider that.
Snow what?
That's gonna be a crazy day. I don't know. So Veterans Day, you guys call the day after Thanksgiving, even though it's November 11th, you go, and you call that your Veterans Day holiday?
We do it at work. How's the courthouse do it?
They do Veterans Day.
Yeah.
You think you'd adopt more like the courthouse, what they're doing?
Yeah, what does our courthouse do? Do you have any idea?
I mean,
I think they do all of these,
I
don't
think
they?
they do all, and election day. I
Do the
believe
way
they're
they
closed
do.
on election day.
On election day too.
They were when I worked there. They were closed on election day.
There are only 11 federal holidays, so if you want to go to the federal holiday schedule, you can. I don't think you start adding federal holidays when you're doing holidays that aren't federal. I think you could change it and go to the federal holiday schedule. And that way, you're always, if they add one, we add one. If they take one away, we take one
New
away.
Year's Eve is not a federal. holiday.
Yeah.
No.
New Year's Eve is not a.
So we're actually giving more days than we should be. Well, we're giving the same amount, it's just they're named,
Yeah.
they're different days.
Right.
So I would think maybe you go to the
Leave
federal
it,
holiday and you take President's Day away, but you give Martin Luther King Jr., because that is a federal holiday. President's Day is not.
Courthouse is
Um,
crazy.
Personally, it's just one half dozen the other.
Actually, President's
Yeah,
Day,
no,
they call it
it's St.
Washington's
Wash.
birthday, not President's Day.
Right.
shall we just leave it as is and keep this as I mean, that's very good. If there's 11 federal holidays, do you, I mean, as employees, having the day after Thanksgiving, my husband for years at Best Chairs never had the day after Thanksgiving off. To me, that's a
Is that
good
harder
day.
on you, James, having 2 in a row? Or Russ?
No, we've got someone there every day anyway.
Yeah.
So someone has to work.
So you just have your holiday different.
We just haven't taken holidays every day.
Right, and Christmas Day, Christmas.
Juneteenth is one of the federal holidays, by the way.
But now, again, just out of idle ignorance, so the distinction is not whether they're paid or not, right? I mean, because we would be paid New Year's Day, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, but you wouldn't be paid for the eves or the post day.
Christmas Eve Day.
I mean, basically, we're talking about moving the Friday after Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve,
for Columbus.
Good Friday.
If we would move
Columbus
it,
Day, Friday
right.
13th, I mean,
If we
And
only
Martin
go
Luther
with
King
11.
Day.
So like you said, it's a wash.
It's 11 right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 11, right. So it's
I
a
mean,
wash
you could
right
clean it
now.
up, you could clean it up and say just federal holidays, and it would be, and you wouldn't ever have to mess with it again, because if they add one, it'd automatically go on.
Well, it would be easier if we're not adding, just to leave it the same, so we don't
Yeah,
have to
because
redo
you'd
the
be
salary line,
changing
simply
It's a
just don't
wash.
have to try to figure out
That's a good
what
point,
days.
though, but those days are
No.
different too.
Huh?
As one of the years
Because I never
that
thought
you're
about the
on call,
eves.
That's nice to have that long weekend.
It is,
On,
it is.
on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Okay.
And Easter even.
Does status quo sound good enough for now? And then- Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're right, because the eves were at the end.
yeah, they don't count, and you would lose Good Friday.
Okay.
And a lot of people, I think people would rather have Christmas Eve off.
I know.
like that
I know,
Than Juneteenth,
yeah,
right?
Yes.
okay.
The state, there's 14.
The
holidays.
state has 14, what are the others?
They have New Year's Day, MLK, Lincoln's birthday, Washington's birthday,
Lincoln's birthday.
Good Friday, primary election day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, General Election Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas.
No eves.
They don't have any eves
They
or
don't have
any
any eves or
afters.
day after.
Yeah.
I would just leave it.
Wow, just leave it for now? Okay, good. Good
Um,
discussion, thank you, everybody.
The other parts of the salary ordinance, how do you feel about those? Do you wanna do anything with the cell phone stipend, the safety bonus, the holiday bonus?
I think you're adding so much cost in insurance, you just leave them alone this year.
I wanna go back to this, water board president, 19 a month, that's it.
I was gonna ask, you need to put monthly on those three. Waterworks,
Yeah,
and
I
Park Board.
noticed that, yeah.
And then your lead utility clerk doesn't have hourly on there, so there's just some housekeeping before you do the second reading.
I haven't seen that, I don't know.
Lead utility clerk has up to $20.
Hourly, up to $20. Yeah, it just says up to, it does, all the rest say hourly,
Yeah.
up to.
These are the
Oh, okay,
max.
okay.
This isn't what they're getting paid, it's just the max for that.
Yeah, this is the maximum that can be paid to them.
Right.
So the Waterworks president,
And appointed board members are only paid if they show up, right?
Right, correct.
Whereas
So like
town
the-
count,
the
like
Parks Board
elected
and
officials have to be paid every
Right.
time, but
the
appointed board
elected
members are only
officials
paid
get
if they
paid
show up.
regardless,
Yep.
but the other board members, the water board and the Parks Board only get paid if they attend the meeting.
This seems like Scott's involved in a lot for $119 a month.
yeah,
He is,
He does.
he has been.
yeah, I think we should look at increasing that salary. Scott Elliott, who comes and talks.
Well, every time he
sometimes.
comes to one of our meetings, he gets paid for that meeting though, right?
No,
Does he get paid for every meeting? It's only water meetings?
that's only,
He gets
Well-
paid an additional if they have.
That's per
if
meeting,
the-
isn't it? That's not monthly, that's per meeting. Right?
No,
is that,
he gets paid $119 per regular meeting. They have back here on the second page.
Yeah, that's per meeting, not
If there's a
monthly.
special meeting, then they get paid $25 for a special
there you go,
meeting,
yeah.
up to $200 for the year. It's on the second
He
page,
does a lot of,
about midway.
yeah.
Permission.
for as much as he does, it just seems awful cheap to me.
He does a lot more than $30 an hour more than the board members. You know what I
He
mean?
does all the
Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that, Russ? That he does a lot more than,
He does a lot, I mean, he's, overseen several capital projects over the years, and he has kept the dollars straight, he knows where the pennies are, so, yeah.
where can a salary change for him come from? From where can it come?
Water, water utility.
Water, that's it.
Yeah,
Not
he
sewer,
gets
just
paid out of
water,
water.
period.
What's your thoughts on it?
I agree wholeheartedly Um,
right.
But, you know, Scott, like I said, he knows where the pennies are. I mean, he'll be able to tell you to the.
I know everything.
What his budget is and what his costs are.
So can we put it on July's books to
What are
look
you
at
guys looking at? I mean, what do you think he's?
twice that? Or 200? You think? Or is that too much?
Would this be something that would have to go to the water board though, since they?
That's what I would.
That's-
recommend.
yeah.
I would say tonight, and I cannot speak for them, but I would say that their budget would support it, but I wouldn't wanna say that without.
Yeah, why don't you have the water board recommend something before the next?
Yeah,
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Have
You could have the water board recommend if they wanna change it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
talk to them and see.
Have the water
And then,
board
or if we
make a
wanna increase it,
recommendation.
make it a yearly increase, you know? Cause he does, he knows
Knowing Scott,
lots.
he may say, I don't want mine increased unless the water board members.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, that's what he'll
Yeah,
say.
so take it to, I would say you take it to the water board for recommendation.
Yeah, we would, just make sure it's brought up,
Sure.
that we respect him and feel like he's worth more than that.
I don't wanna give him the big head.
Oh, no, he already has that.
I'll tell you that.
I mean, what do the water board members do? I mean, they go to meetings and that's kind of it,
Yeah,
right?
they're
Yeah.
pretty on.
I mean, your park board members are probably doing a lot more than the water board member and they're getting paid the same.
Yeah,
You know, your park board members get down there, they volunteer, they do a lot more than. well,
I
maybe
know,
not
we have
of them do it.
we have all the board members getting the same amount.
I would, I mean, to be honest with you, they don't do it for the money, they're about that, oh yeah, I gotta make sure I come get my money. Like,
Yeah.
They don't, yeah, they're not there because they got kids down there and they're investing
Yeah.
in work.
Okay, yep, please bring that up.
Okay.
All right, how are you feeling with
So
stuff?
we'll be ready for the, no other changes, then we'll be ready for the second reading and adoption at the unit meeting.
Did you have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2023-14, an ordinance of the town council of the town of Santa Claus, Indiana, wages and salaries for 2024.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, so it passes. First reading of the ordinance passes.
Okay. I don't have anything else outside of vouchers. I have
I'm
voucher.
gonna take a second here and thank staff, this is his last regular council meeting, correct?
Are you going
That'd
to
be
be?
right.
You will
One
be,
decade worth,
you will be at the next one?
probably.
Okay, please do. We need you at the next one, Seth.
Anyway, take a moment to thank Seth for his time that he's devoted to the town. He's had a lot to do with the park, get it where it's at. Amongst other things here.
Financially, he's a wizard. So those two things are gonna be greatly missed. Your devotion to the
Well,
park
thank you.
and your numbers, so. But please come to the next meeting. It's very important to come to the next meeting.
Okay,
Okay?
You can do anything you want.
I'll make every effort.
Do, please. But yes,
Anyway, again, thanks for what you've done.
Thank you, Seth.
thank you, Jason, for bringing that up.
Okay. I have general vouchers in the amount of $68,073.43.
Make a motion for the general voucher in the amount of $68,072.43.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes.
I have payroll vouchers in the amount of $87,669.16.
Make a motion to approve the payroll voucher in the amount of $87,669.16.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That
I
passes.
have wastewater vouchers in the amount of $289,437.48.
Make a motion to approve the wastewater voucher in the amount of $289,437.48.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes. All of those pass. There is a Talk of the Towns meeting Wednesday, and as far as, I've heard Kevin Burke's planning to come. I will not be there. So maybe if you guys can think of anything, Talk of the Towns is the county talking about things in the county that can be improved. one thing, dilapidated buildings has been a big issue and nobody's doing anything on it, but it's still something they discuss, and I think it, should be discussed. So if anyone has anything else they can think of, let me know, and I promise that I will make sure it gets brought up at those meetings, okay? Anything. Goes up.
A couple $100,000. And they'd match 50%.
For what?
That mountain bike center.
Oh,
It was just north of 500,000, and they were basically going to make an in-kind donation.
About
to wipe out
250.
the cost of the
So we
project.
got like $240,000 sitting in the TIF, the industrial park TIF fund, and that is in the industrial park.
oh, good call. Keep that. We need that.
Because we need, we need to have projects to spend that money on.
Yes.
What else are we going to do in the industrial park?
Oh, that would be perfect.
Sorry,
The industrial
Both.
park,
what about it?
what other improvements do we need to make to the industrial park?
We are in the legacy mode of our shovel ready.
We don't have any more land to develop, really.
Yeah, so,
Street improvements, because we've also got $250,000, I think, sitting in there. How much do we have sitting in there?
Yeah, so-
Economic development,
a lot of that has gone by the wayside in the last year. We had intended on repurposing that cul-de-sac that would have been platted back there, and that is a no-go now.
but that's where the mountain bike trail goes.
Yeah, I think that would be part of that.
Number one goal of mine next year is to get a 5 to 10 year plan. And that would be a great thing to start out with.
We've got $212,055
Yeah.
in the industrial development fund, which came from all of our land sales in the industrial park, and we got $237,911 sitting in the industrial TIF fund.
You can build a darn nice mountain.
Needs to be spent, yep.
Can we do are we allowed to do like a GoFundMe or something to set stuff up for that?
So basically.
I'm serious.
I know, I don't know.
Well,
They
the way I
could.
understood it, Brad had utilized some crowdfunding. There was actually a crowdfunding grant where I believe they would match dollar for dollar whatever the public contributed. I don't know if that's something that we'd be eligible for. But I think he mentioned they raised about $50,000 for another project that way.
I also have a group coming
We just
that,
need to start our own mountain bike club and we can set our own GoFundMe crowdfunding and donate it.
Well, the high school has one. And that's kind of the impetus, is he would utilize that to drive the funding with hopefully parents and other community members will get involved.
I have another funding source that might be
You may have
coming down the
people donate
pipe.
from all over the place. People donate from all over the place to those crowdfunding because they're like, oh, they want to do it. Here's $50, help them out.
Sure.
And it adds up fast when you get a couple hundred people do that. Just
Town can't do GoFundMe though.
but their mountain bike club could.
Yes, I know.
And they could donate, and we could do it.
I have
Okay.
one more thing before we adjourn. Jeff Stillman, we're having issues with his email address. And so he cannot access his town email address because he does not have a smartphone. And he cannot get how they have, all government email has like a multi-authentication where you have to, if you're accessing it from like your home computer, it sends you a code to
Text.
either text or,
He doesn't have
Email.
text messaging?
No,
A smartphone doesn't limit you to text
I
messaging.
know.
You can
He
have
doesn't.
that was my
Any
thought.
phone can send you a
So
text.
Brian got a
That was
Kindle
my thought,
on
too.
Black Friday sale. Did Brian get that Kindle?
Well, I don't know about that, but Brian did talk to me about the situation because Jeff is wanting them to get forwarded to his personal email, but because it's government related, we really can't do that
Mhm.
because, all of those emails have to be saved and all that stuff. So we can't really access his personal email. So the question has arose that, Brian has made the suggestion that maybe the town provide Jeff Stillman with a inexpensive tablet under $70 to be able to put this app on there so he can access his email. I don't know if this is something you guys feel is necessary.
I would say you'd have to
or-
give everyone one then. You can't just give him one.
That's why
I would think maybe you just appoint somebody else. If they can't get email and aren't willing to do it, then maybe they're not cut out for that position. That's my opinion. If that's something they're unwilling to do, then when their term's up, you just move on.
Can you discriminate that way?
Well, we can
You
appoint
can
whoever we
anybody
want.
Yeah.
Serve at your will and pleasure, basically.
You could find somebody new that wants to do it and put them on there. If somebody's not, they can't get email.
I know.
It's very unusual in today's day and age.
I would say you're just kind of,
And I had asked Brian also because it used to be that you could get a text or an email. So I'm unsure about why the code can't go to his personal email and then he check it then and go back in and put the code in if he has access to a personal email. Brian has told me that they, I guess, are no longer offering the email notification to be able to do that. So I'm kind of in the middle here between Jeff and Brian and everything, and I don't know that I'm getting the full information of. There's a lot of it I don't
Can you ask
understand.
somebody else's phone number in that can receive text messages?
Do you have to do it every time he gets into his email?
a text message can go to any mobile phone. You don't have to have a smartphone to do a text message. You have to have a smartphone to check your email and do the Google sign in, but you don't need it for a text message.
Well, I don't know if it's because the phone, you know, like when you get the text message, I don't know, I don't understand. Like I said, I'm also a little confused about
Why he can't get in there.
why he can't get either through his personal email, get the code, or get the text message. It's just something I thought I should make you guys aware of, because.
This has been an issue for Brian for like 2 months. He's been,
Yeah. Yeah, he sent me something saying he couldn't get.
Well, I mean, gets
So-
$90 a month and
But
for every
how could he-
meeting
how
goes
could
to,
he
he can
do
buy
it
his own
before?
tablet.
Why did it just suddenly become an issue though? Because he's been using that for over a year.
because now he's switching to the government ones, right?
No, he's been using that one for over a year.
Well, if you switch your computer, you're screwed.
I mean, not the town of Santa Claus one.
Yeah, he has, he's been using it.
I know, but isn't it now we're switching to the gov? Or is
We
it?
haven't switched his to the gov yet.
Yeah, yeah.
We're still holding off on the gov thing. James, the police department.
So he
did get
can't
theirs
even-
But no,
switched.
he can't get the .com one.
He can't even get the town of
Because
Santa
he
Claus.
told me that last month.
Yeah.
Did he switch computers? If you switch computers, it's a new device, it'll kick you off.
But all you do is do it one time.
Maybe he
So
switched,
it's the
maybe he got a new
security.
computer, I don't know.
Yeah,
But he was able to do it whenever a year ago, whenever he got the .com.
yeah.
He was able to authenticate his computer then for some reason.
I would say he needs to buy his own device. I don't think we buy him by device, or you need to buy every single board member that has that email the same device.
Agreed.
And all of a sudden, now you got how many board members? Now you're shelling out thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Because you can't just buy it for one person, that's crazy.
And how long is it gonna last?
Yeah, I know.
If it's really $70, he needs to buy it himself.
Yeah, Black Friday sales on those are only $70.
Yeah, get $90 a meeting, right? There you go.
So who tells Jeff that? You?
I will let them know. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Do I have a
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Yep,
You
motion
say.
to adjourn.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed to adjourning. I agree with you.
I figured that backwards. Probably time to resign unless somebody else.
Well,
If you can't check email, you probably shouldn't be on the APC board.
Say, I was speaking with a 93-year-old guy.
he is that smart. He is, I know. I know.
Tom Shelton broke down, got the smartphone.
She was. She told, I could see her telling you over and over again. Is it time? Yes, How'd you do?
Oh,
You're tired, aren't you?
I don't need luck. I'm already good luck not having to come to meetings next year.
You did. Which was and they said you were wow. She had a sick.
Where was this?
You wanna get
I'll
to
get-
tomorrow, I can do it tomorrow in person. I'll call you in.
I heard a gunshot last night at my house.
I mean, that was right in my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
My neighborhood.
Oh, I heard a gunshot in my house last night when I was outside yesterday.
Like, kid, are you good?
I thought maybe somebody's hunting outside the village. Could've been a muzzle loader. It was pretty loud.
She's
right?
out. She's history.
She's done.
She is, she's finished. She was,
She did so good.
she was excellent.
Is that your granddaughter?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
And usually she listens to my